Hi, everyone. What a day across the area. My goodness. And I know that Little Rock and Springfield television coverage and St. Louis and Jonesboro, they're dealing with tornadoes right now. We'll get to that in just a bit. But we got a lot of stuff going on, Zach. Someone's asking about the fires that are happening at Beaver Lake. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a there's some fires that are happening right at the end of 264, and I believe this is from some lightning that happened from those cells a little bit out ahead of the rain. It's just a wild day. First of all, there was a lot of stuff that happened throughout the morning hours, late morning, some hail that came down, a lot of storms that had lightning, but not a lot of rain. And it was just a crazy day altogether. Super strong winds, lots of dust blowing in. I mean, we had a lot going on, man. That's for sure. And right now, the storms are just absolutely nuts in central and northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri. Zach, we have multiple tornado warnings, several strong, considerable tornadoes. In fact, every warning in southeast Missouri near the Boot Heel is a considerable tornado warning. Now, what's wild is you see that and you don't see the real good supercell structure. We're going to switch radars here real quick as we load up the Memphis radar, which is the closest one. And here you'll get to see some of those cells, just a tremendous amount of rotation. And that's moving, like we said, northeast out of Arkansas. Multiple other tornadoes that are considerable. This is 14,000 feet, and you can see the rotation just to the west of Greenville. There's absolutely so much going on. Look at this circulation. Confirmed tornado in just to the west of Walnut Ridge. And so obviously this is not in our weather coverage area. We were watching the storms very closely, Zach. And thankfully, yes, there was a tornado warning that was issued for eastern Johnson County, but it lasted like 5 minutes. And to be honest, when the warning was issued, this storm was already out of the weather coverage area.
Yeah, near miss. We missed out on the severe storms for today,
I'm
and
thankful for that.
very
Yeah.
thankful for that. But we did not miss out on the dust and the
No.
and the winds. And probably the main reason why we're doing this Facebook Live is because of the effects of this storm. Now we didn't see tornadoes, but we did see, we have fires going on right now. And one of the effects of the fires and the dust is the air quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've seen the air quality here this bad before.
No, it's pretty bad. We look at it. Let's bring it up here. We'll bring it up full. That's what we wanted to talk about. Hazardous air quality as of 8 p.m. over Northwest Arkansas. Here's what it did look like. Here's what it looks like. The air quality is 333. So that is hazardous. Over 301 and higher. So over 300 is bad, bad, bad. Health warning of emergency conditions. Everyone is likely to be affected. Now, we actually have this brought up on air now. I could bring that map up, and so you'll get to see this. This is what it looks like here. Let's just go ahead and make sure that we hit refresh and see what happens, see if it's changed. Nope, it has not. So you've got over 300 hazardous. If we look at the map here,
Yeah, that's gotten worse.
it's gotten worse. So that's the air quality forecast right there. And so this is obviously as a result of a lot of fires that occurred. I just want to zoom in on that, but I guess I can't. Yeah, here we go. This is an interactive map. So you can see that has gotten a lot worse. Make sure that, yeah, we do. We have that up and running. So this is some pretty bad air quality over Northwest Arkansas. And that's hazardous right there, that magenta color. We don't normally have that. Hazardous as of 10 p.m. Eastern, which would be 9 p.m. our time. And we look at some different things. Here's some of the values. 238. Look at this. 513. Man, that is really bad. So if we look at some other stuff here, just some particulates. I don't have to worry about ozone or anything like that. Ozone PM, look at this, 230. So we've got hazardous over our area according to the very latest. So if we we go back and take a look at this if we can. There you go. So we scroll up here, 333 for Northwest Arkansas for the Fayetteville area. Let's check out Rogers. Let's see if Rogers has anything that's different. So basically, there's not going to be much difference because it doesn't show, a difference over a large area. So let's try Fort Smith, though. Let's look at the air quality in Fort Smith. No current forecast for the region. All right. Well, there you have it.
And we can show you how bad,
the cameras look. Yeah,
we've got some cameras.
So let's bring up Gaither Mountain. Gaither Mountain is probably one of the better ones here. We'll bring this up full. That is unbelievable. Yeah. That looks like rain, but that's all dust.
Yeah, and you can see the moon reflecting off all that dust.
Yeah.
So that's Harrison Gaither Mountain. We've got Lincoln.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's dusty. Here's Rogers Pinnacle.
That's not as bad.
Well, from that angle, if we turned it around, it might look worse.
Yeah.
So we've got.
I've never seen their quality that bad. To be honest with you. Look at Posey.
That's looking west.
Yeah. So west is the worst in terms of the air quality. So we're getting a lot of questions here, Zach, about if the winds are going to die down. That's going to happen overnight tonight a little bit. But let's go ahead and we'll answer some questions here. Oh, man. Logan says, checking in from Athens, Alabama. Y'all stay safe back in Arkansas. So I'm imagining he might be doing some storm chasing. There's big tornadoes in Missouri. Big tornadoes. And now we got a considerable for that storm that was located west of Walnut Ridge as we saw that rotation. Yep. For Memphis. Yeah, it's kind of tough. There's a lot going on with multiple areas. Let me take a look here down to our south. So here's the circulation that's showing up. That's also tornado warned. This is starting to show rotation signs in BB. There's a tornado warning that's south of Sheridan right now that's moving northeast. Again, the radar location for Memphis is quite a ways away. That's why you're seeing all those different looks and the colors. And then this is that range folding, as we mentioned, the arcing you can see of the radar sweep and the no data. So, man, that's a wicked storm right there. I know Ryan Vaughn is covering that on Jonesboro television, KAIT. So he's doing all that. Let's go ahead and we'll switch radars again. And I just switched the wrong one. Hold on. Tulsa's not going to show anything, but we're going to switch it to, while that's loading up, we're going to switch it to Little Rock. So we'll take a look at Little Rocks. So let's give some wind forecast. First of all, let's give a breakdown of this system. This is what I did in my newscast. If you didn't get the chance to see it, we'll go through all this stuff. That's the air quality. But why is the air quality so bad? This storm system was just a beast. Look at that energy lifting northward and all that upper level wind support that's pushing in. And so we got a couple things to notice. Number one, the vorticity maximum just negatively tilted, swung in here, flipped off to the northeast. More energy that's swinging in from the system that's moving in tomorrow. I'll show you that risk. Look at all the storms that blossomed right along that. You could tell that energy was moving in, Zach, right around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. It's amazing the difference that a little upper level support will make for severe storms. Now, the dust storm. Okay, if you haven't heard, Amarillo had the most craziest accident, multiple car pileup, deadly multiple car pileup. Cars were just mangled from visibility near zero and 80 plus miles per hour winds. Just crazy winds, super strong. There's the weather system, though, that's lifting north. The storm's developing east of that dry line and the cold front. And here's the wind gusts. Look at that. 83 miles per hour. That is insane. We hit 54 at Drake Field. Let's see if there were some other stronger gusts, because I didn't show this on the air tonight. What do you think about this, Zach? I mean, these gusts are off the charts.
I mean, we have a severe storm wind gust, and that's at least 58 miles per hour. And then we have a considerable severe storm wind gust, that's 70. And then destructive, top tier severe storm wind gust is 80. So we're talking just, without even storms, 83-mile-per-hour wind gust.
Yeah,
That's unheard. I've never seen a wind gust that strong before.
that's crazy. And then look at the winds at X and A at Highville,
Yeah,
hitting
50,
60.
60 and high. Yeah,
60 is
Yeah.
wind criteria. So
that's damaging wind.
yep. So that's why you had a lot of wind damage that occurred and the fires that are going. And we'll talk more about that in just a bit. But let's get back to some more comments here. So the winds, when are they going to die down? Yes, it has been miserable all day. Let's take a look at those winds. So they're still blowing, but they're not as strong, and they will subside overnight tonight. So we've got west southwest winds. Look at the collision of the air masses to the east of us. Here's where the tornado potential is. So strong southerly winds pumping in that Gulf of Mexico moisture, or Gulf of America, however you want to say it, the Gulf. You can see the energy from the southwest that's pushing in, and then so a lot of moisture streaming in from the Gulf, and then you got that westerly wind. Now, another thing that you want to look at is the relative humidity. The fire danger is still there, and that's because our relative humidities are really low. I mean, 12%, 11%. But look at Clinton at 83%. So clearly, pretty well-defined dry line that developed. Let's take a look at this here. This is the PG Telco WeatherBug Network camera. I'm going to stop it here towards sunset. Look at this. This looks like a Star Wars scene, man.
That's a great time lapse.
Look at that.
That's the sun.
Yeah. So as the sun sets, it just disappears. The dust is so thick. That's why the air quality is so terrible right now, with that thick of dust and smoke as well. So this is unbelievable. But there you see the system just continuing to bring all that dust. Let's take a look here at a little bit of a radar loop to take you through what happened today. So first of all, it all got started at about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I just got to say this, Zach. The HRRR took the L today. All models, really, honestly, took the L.
Because we had storms in the morning, and I don't think any model had
nothing.
Had what we saw.
This is a great example of the dynamics of a system that's historic like this could bring a lot more than expected. So there you got the energy that's moving through. Look at that. There's the hail that popped up in Bella Vista and Little Flock, and then the next round of storms. And we were watching this all day going, no, please get out, because we knew these storms were going to crank up. Thankfully, we were on the western edge where the storms really started to ramp up. But here's where you had some hail that came down. We got several photos and videos of this. This was a storm that was moving over 80 miles per hour. That's fast movement.
I've never seen a storm going that fast.
Look at that thing.
Just racing through northwest Arkansas.
Now, I wonder if it was a
that's
split.
why we saw the hail kind of falling sideways.
Yeah, there were several views where you could see the hail falling sideways. So if we look at this here, here's some of the hail reports. That's right around an inch quarter size. You had about an inch penny or dime size, nickel size. And then look at how the storm just kind of trained over itself. This is where the hail got the biggest, and this is the videos that we got from Rogers.
And we actually had some flooding up in Benton County.
Yeah, there were flood advisories, which is interesting because I know a lot of people said these were dry thunderstorms. That was the threat, which was the case with these. These didn't bring a whole lot of rain, Zach. They brought a lot of lightning, but they did not bring a whole lot of rain. So that's something that was quite interesting with this system. But then you see these storms making their way eastward, and then watch what happens. This is when the energy flings in. Right about 6:30, 7 o'clock, low-level jet kicks in, winds start cranking up. Here's your tornadoes. Right there gets your tornado warning. But if you look, it was already out of here right there.
Gone.
In one radar scan, it was out. So, and Pope County is not included in our weather coverage area, and that's why we didn't do any live coverage. Plus, I had to record a newscast that was going on. So, There was a lot of stuff going on. All right. Car washes will be busy, Dalton says. Let's get to I'm about to head out to work. Is the fire controlled? No, they are working with multiple agencies, including Rogers Fire now, as they're still working on it. The good news is that the winds are subsiding a little bit. And if we look at the wind forecast, you'll notice that that is starting to decrease as well. So let's take a look here at some wind gusts from the models. So take that with a grain of salt. But here's what we've got. Winds should be dying down after about 3 a.m. significantly as that storm moves out. Not as strong winds tomorrow. Still a little breezy.
They turn it out from the northwest.
Yep. Northwest winds is going to cool things off as that storm system moves out. So let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is something else, Zach, and it's going to be today here shortly. But there's a look at the severe weather risk for today, tonight, and into tomorrow morning through about 7 a.m. And look, the tornado threat, hatched area. There are lots of tornadoes today. The damaging wind threat is there. Look at all the wind reports. My goodness. Look at the hail reports, too, from these cells. There was some baseball-sized hail with some of the supercells in southwest Missouri and south central Missouri. Now, the day 2, this is where things get interesting. I'm going to take our camera off the screen. We've got a level 5. That is it, folks. That's as high as it gets. A 5 out of 5. It is looking like a tornado outbreak will be evident and very, very likely. I don't see many fail safes with this system or failure modes. It's always possible, but this looks like a pretty substantial severe weather event. Long track tornadoes, strong to violent tornadoes. This is some bad stuff in Dixie Alley. Look at the tornado potential, and you've got extreme, significant tornadoes with the probability. And then we look at the wind, and you'll see that that's a huge area of damaging wind potential as well as large hail. So you've got basically all threats and at a very heightened tornado threat. So why is that? Well, that's because the supercells are just going to be most likely abundant. In fact, Zach, let's bring it up and we'll show you. Even though this is a computer model,
people are probably wondering about timing and exactly the place. Now you saw how the models handed the weather for us today. It didn't do a very good job.
They didn't.
And tomorrow's another dynamic setup. A lot of different variables. The models probably will not handle it well, but
I think they'll handle it a little better just because, there's more energy now. The energy that's coming in will show you that. So let's see here. Do you think it'll go 45% for tornadoes? Boy, that's up there, but it's possible. Let's see here. Huge hail that happened and still no power in Johnson County. Yeah, we saw that storm. It was massive going through Clarksville. This day will go into the history books, Mitchell says. Yeah, horrible tornado weather everywhere. The blossoms are blowing off my tree blossoms. Yeah. Smog alerts, no kidding. Oh, Alex sent some hail videos, so that's cool. I'll check that out. Pocahontas. Yes, extremely large and dangerous tornado. Look at this on Mega Doppler. Bring this up here. Zoom in on that. Pocahontas. Just to the south of Pocahontas. This kind of reminds me of, so we've got the radar from Little Rock. You could just see the rotation. Now, granted, remember, the radar beam is a ways up there. So if you look, here's the circulation. That's 13,000 feet above the ground. Look at this one right here cranking up. Tornadoes there. They're basically everywhere, except for Little Rock, thankfully. Little Rock is now going to be spared because the storm's out. But look at this one starting to ramp up. Redfield, Jefferson, circulation there. So there's warnings up and down every single supercell except for this one, which will probably become tornado warned. Look at all of these cells. My goodness. But yeah, this is a strong storm, and then more storms and
Even up there.
tornadoes. We don't even have the radar up there. It's going all the way up into Wisconsin. I do believe, yeah, Dalton, PDSs. Yep. PDS tornado watch, particularly dangerous situation. I keep smelling smoke. I bet there's definitely a lot of smoke out there. Where was that tornado in Izard County? Was there a tornado? Yeah, there was. Bentonville getting anything tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this real quick. Let's go to the future track and show you what we're going to get. I do think that energy that's swinging in will bring us some rain. So you can see right here, as that comes in, that is some rain that pops up, especially in the river valley. So Bentonville may not get a whole lot of stuff, but I do think that we'll still see some rain. You can see it right there. Even if the models are showing, we know that energy is intense. So check this out here. This is what we're having right now. Storms that are approaching Dixie Alley. And then tomorrow morning, watch what happens when we get just supercells galore. Maybe it goes up everywhere and then doesn't quite produce supercells. That's a possibility, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
At least not initially.
No. You have two girls. So Batesville's fine. Shelly, Batesville is the storm's already past Batesville. Check this out here. It's already southeast of Batesville. So Newport, Tuckerman, that's the problem, but not for Batesville. Batesville, the storm's already moved out. So that's good. Dodged a bullet, and then that's going to be it. There was a tornado emergency. It was Van Buren, though. Van Buren had the tornado emergency. Not Van Buren, Arkansas. Van Buren, southwest Missouri. In fact, if we go back, I don't think we're going to be able to get it. But we can do the satellite and the radar loop. We could show you that tornado emergency. But before we do that, let's go back here. Take a look at that energy swinging in. So much energy. Additional storms popping up. And look, that's just going to rake supercells almost everywhere. This is a once-in-a-generation type of event. You know? It really is. And if we go to the amount of energy that's swinging in, here's the day 2 convective outlook. That's soon to be the day 1. Let's take a look here at the water vapor. This is just insane. And one of the things I like to do is to go back a long ways, Zach, to see what this looked like and how this evolved. You know, and there were some people that called for significant tornado potential, 3-4 weeks out. And yes, there's high angular momentum in the Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific Ocean. And so sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. This time it panned out in a major way. And it hasn't happened yet. You got to remember, there's always things that can cause tornadoes to stop tomorrow, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be a pretty significant severe weather event. So there's a system that came through on Wednesday. Really didn't bring a whole lot of rain, did it here?
It did not.
Now, let's go back here. Let's look at this system. So this is what I mean by high angular momentum, where the jet stream flows from west to east, basically. Victor Gensini talked about this. The greatest way to explain this is that if I've got a rubber band and I'm pulling it out, and I'm pulling it vertically out or horizontally out, what happens, Zach, if I let go of that rubber band? Snaps back. So when it snaps back, it becomes what's called amplified. Amplified is what allows these storm systems to materialize. So let's show you here as we put it into motion. Look at all that high angular momentum. And then there's the snapping. There's the snapping of the jet stream right here. And we put that into motion. You can see that diving in. And then look, more high angular momentum out west where the jet stream's flowing almost exactly zonal And guess what happens there? Another snapping of the jet stream. So we've got this system that was moving in. That right there was the low pressure system that zipped off to the northeast. Look at the next system that's diving in. That's the tornado outbreak as we go into our Saturday. But what's interesting too, Zach, is you can see this is upper level support that's coming in from the west. Watch what happens when it moves in and just explodes those storms. So these are the storms earlier in the morning. Not as much energy, but once that upper level support gets in there, as I zoom in, you'll see this just absolutely crank up right here. Boom. Look at that. Right there is where your storms just erupt. Because look down just to the west of Dallas. See that? Look at that energy sling in. That's what caused all the lift. So yeah, talking about those fires, let me show you some pictures that we got. If you want to see, if you haven't seen, we've got some pictures, and we can maybe bring it up on Weather 3. You want to do that, Zach?
Yeah.
It'll take a little while to bring up. I haven't heard if they've been contained yet, but I know that the area that it's running out of room. We saw some pictures. I'll show you some pictures as well. What's this here? My daughter is driving a truck and trailer out to Clearwater, leaving tomorrow morning. Yes, but not as strong as we saw today. Tornado in Mississippi right now, currently a PDS warning. Ryan Hall has eyes on it, and it's massive. Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff, man. It's just crazy. Check this out as we look at this. That right there is a tornado considerable. And I can bring up the radar a little closer. You know, obviously we got to bounce around to different radar sites. Bring this up here from Jackson, Mississippi. What a storm. Yeah, look at this. That is a super cell right there. My goodness. And then look at that. There's the circulation associated with it. Pretty impressive. You know how to do it, Zach?
Yeah.
It's already added to the playlist, isn't it, or no?
I
didn't see it. Okay. Winds are still going pretty strong here in Springdale. I can believe that. Winds are crazy strong. What is going to amplify tornado development tomorrow is that the storms will move through the area. Rain-cool boundaries will be laid down, and there'll be areas of increased vorticity that can and often does increase tornado strength. It sure does. Yeah. I'll show you something here. So if you guys want to see something cool, let me flip this to dark mode here real quick. All right, stand by. I'm going to show you something. Share this tab instead. Okay. So this is a program that we're working that calculates critical angles, and here's how it works. So we're going to go to Memphis's radar, KNQA. We'll click on that. That'll load up a bunch of METARs. You can also see all the warnings that are currently in effect. A lot of tornado warnings. If we want to know the storm motions, all you got to do is just click on this, and it'll tell you the storm motions right there, 225 at 39. So let's bring up the METAR for, why don't we bring it up for Memphis? So we'll click on that. This photograph analysis tool will bring that up. Oh yeah, look at that. Jonesboro now has a considerable tornado warning. 241 at 44. So considerable tornado warning for Jonesboro. And you're going to see this this storm that's off to the southwest, as they have already confirmed it. So let's look at Jonesboro instead for the METAR. So once we do, I'm going to type this up. We're going to plot that METAR. And once we do, we scroll down here and we look at our critical angle. So we have a lot of shear. It hasn't quite straightened out yet in Memphis, but that's a pretty impressive photograph. Now, critical angle is not great. Storm motion that we're going to do is 241 at 44. So we type that in, 241 at 44, plot the storm motion. And the depth of the shear is not very great, 98 meters. Shear magnitude's only 10 knots. But if that straightens out a little bit more, that's where things could get interesting. So yeah, here's their critical angle. It's a little over 130. So it's not great yet. However, if that surface wind weakens a little bit, that could really start tornado potential. Look at the 0 to 3 kilometer storm relative velocity, 889.
Wow.
That is intense. So this is a look at the photograph program that we have. And this is pretty wild. So let's go here and we'll take a look and drop off of this. And let's go back to what we were going to show you, which was the fires. So these are some of the fires. So here's a picture from Chris right here, Beaver Lake, Highway 264. So that is East Highway 264 over the Beaver Lake area. And I'll show you exactly where that is if you're needing to know. So it's basically close to the Lowell area, Montanay Shores kind of area, Frisco. That's that area at Highway 264. So we got some others, Zach. Here's another one showing you those fires.
Oh, smoke's coming off the mountains.
So there's a couple of things that you can do to look at active fires. You can look at what's called the satellite, and we're going to bring that up here. I could bring that up and I could show you some of the hot spots for the fires. And a lot of the stuff that I've found that's for fires isn't really typically updated very often. You know what I mean, Zach?
Yeah, I do see that.
Let's see what we can bring up here with natural color fire, and maybe we can see some stuff. So go here, bring this, whoops. What? Hold on just a second.
Where'd it go?
What?
Oh, here it is. I want to show this.
All right, hold on. Yeah. So boy, you can really see that smoke kicking up. But if we look at this, this is a great product during the day. Unfortunately, it's not real great at night. But it looks like some of those fires are going out, so that's good. So here's some of the fires that were ongoing earlier in Oklahoma. This is a really cool product. This is called, bring this up here, take a look. This is the College of DuPage, and it's what's called the True Natural Color Fire. And so you can see some of those hot spots right there, those orange glows, and also the smoke plumes that's associated with them. And look at the fire it's up in near Leedy in western Oklahoma. So there's those fires that are spreading eastward, and then watch when the sun goes down, you can see those spots that still remain. So those are those hot spots right there. If we bring up some of the fire graphics, it kind of show fires everywhere, and it's super annoying. So not 100% certain if that fire is contained or not. Like I said, we've been covering weather, and news is trying to cover that stuff. So yeah. Watchduty.org. All right, let's check that out. Did not know. Thank you so much. Watchduty.org. Oh yeah. See, okay, that's cool. It's an app. I don't know. Does it work online?
Those
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Hey, there's fires everywhere.
oh,
Yeah, see, but it doesn't even show that Beaver Lake fire. So that's what I mean. There, I'll bring this up. Share this tab instead. So this is watchduty.org, as he was mentioning. And it shows some of the fires: Cave Fire, a Pleasant Fire, 1 hour ago. But once again, don't know. The Beaver Lake Fire is right here. Here's Highway 264 and then Hickory Creek. So that's where the fire is located, right here at Beaver Lake and the White River. But that doesn't show up at all. And the visible satellite won't show because number one, it's at night and you can't see anything because of the smoke and the dust that's over the area. So, but look at all the fires out west. My goodness, there's
Wow.
tons of them. Look at this one, 2,398 acres. So we click on this. This will show you the containment. That's a lot. That's pretty wild. And look, it shows the red flag fire warnings too. Northwest Arkansas is currently out of it. That was a prescribed burn, but they didn't do that, obviously. That was yesterday. So yeah, some cool stuff. Thanks so much for sharing that. That'll help out. Check out the Tuckerman, Arkansas. Okay, yeah, there's I Drive Arkansas. Bring that up on weather too. A wedge tornado. Wow. All right. Can you get it?
where is it?
It's probably going to be here. Let's see. Some scary storms, man.
There's
on
two
iDrive,
cameras
huh?
there. There was two cameras there to zoom in.
That's not going to be Tuckerfield, though. That's going to be in the northeast. Got to get up there. So here's Tuckerman right here. Let's see. I got to find the one that we want to see. Boy, tough to spot. Let's see if we can get it on this. Man. All right. We're bringing it up here. So the fires are at Beaver Lake. That's the one I've heard about. A lot of them in eastern Oklahoma. Don't necessarily know if there's any others in northwest Arkansas. We saw that one that was in Washington County, but if you have more, let us know. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah.
I
Show this. There's that fire right there. Let's take a look here at iDrive real fast. We're going to do this live in progress. So this is Tuckerman, but doesn't look like that's moving anymore. So let's see if we can find this wedge. Doesn't look like it. I don't know which direction. That's facing southbound right there. Tell me what which Tuckerman camera that it is, because I don't see any wedges. All right, let's bring up the radar too. So let's
Look
bring
at all
up,
those tour possibles.
My goodness, tours possible.
I mean,
Considerable, yeah.
Yeah, not tour possible.
Yeah, there's just tornadoes
Considerable.
everywhere. So it looks like it's already past Tuckerman. Okay, now I know where it's at. So let's go back over here and we're going to look at the radar. So it's going to be here, but these just look at the highway. You can't see it that way. This has to be, that's northbound. That's not good either. Huh? It's not going to see it. It already crossed. Yeah, we did. I talked about the air quality. It's hazardous right now. It's terrible. Okay, let's see. Southbound. So this is coming towards Jonesboro. It's a bad storm, Zach. Here's the radar. There's Tuckerman. So the cameras are located on 67, 167. The problem is that the tornado's already passed. So everything's looking up and down the road. You can't see it. It might have crossed already and then we missed it. I always forget about these iDrive Arkansas cameras. So let's see here. Jonesboro. Let's try looking at this one, 67, 167. See, that's already going to be passed. Golly, a considerable tornado. Maybe you can start to see it there. You got to remember too, those radars are not super detailed at the same time. So south and is this looking southbound? See, that's looking northbound. If that was looking southbound, that would be perfect. I guess we'll stay on that one. Let's see. Bring that up here on Weather One. Sorry, we're looking at the cameras to see if we can see anything off in the distance. Okay, yeah, you need to wake up your family because Jonesboro is in the path with this storm. It's going to be on the north side of Jonesboro. Let's take a look at that and give you details on that. And make sure you're watching, television coverage in Jonesboro and Little Rock. But this is the storm right here. There's the circulation. If we watch this is going to be tracking towards Cache and Dryden. And it looks like, as of now, it might be passing a little bit to the west of Jonesboro. Let's do a radar track on that. Keep watching that camera, Zach.
It's too dark.
I know. It's really hard to
And
see
the
all that
camera
stuff.
keeps like pausing.
And on top of that, it's not really looking in the right location. And
when the lightning strikes, you can see the base in the clouds.
you can.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here at this storm. Let's do a storm track on it. So here's the information. This is moving off to the northeast. Here we go. Stand by. Let's see how strong the storm motion is. So 245 at 50 knots, 60 miles per hour. Zach.
Yeah, so that's the circulation right there. West of Cache.
I think this is going to be our track right here over the next half hour. So here's a look at where we're going, Brooke. Just to let you know. So here's a track of the storm. So Cache just before midnight. It'll be kind of on the northwest side of Cache. Egypt at 11:56 p.m. and then at midnight, Nemo, and then as you can see, Brooklyn at 12:15. So that's kind of on the north side of Jonesboro. All right, I-55 camera. Let's see what we got. Okay. That off in the distance, it's the same one. Given the trajectory, Bradley's mentioning I-555. Let's see here. There's several, but golly, I-555 is so far to the east, man. That's not going to even come close to seeing it. That's so far to the east. I don't know. That might be a long ways, Bradley. I don't think so. And on top of that, that's going to be, I think, a little south. But we'll see. Yeah, look at the circulation now. Storm's really cranking up. Here's the deal. This isn't even our weather coverage area, but we're just on here. Just wanted to let you know about the air quality. We wanted to let you know about some storms that are popping up, and this is coverage for we obviously don't have all the stuff together because we weren't expecting tornado coverage for us. I mean, it was close, but then it was kind of dying out. So that's why we're just kind of on here letting you know about what's happening. But yeah, some really, really bad storms. That's why Central Arkansas, Little Rock Television, Jonesboro Television, they're covering this, like they would wall-to-wall coverage, not just on Facebook Live. And I know there's many others that are, covering it a lot more, but we're going to shut this Facebook Live down. So if you do have family that's in that area, you definitely want to give them a heads up. The air quality is terrible. There's going to be a major tornado outbreak tomorrow. There's already a high risk. If we look at the air quality here, you'll see that we've got some really bad air quality over our region. This is what it looks like. Let's see if it's still that. I'm going to do a refresh, and let's see what we've got. So maybe sometimes it changes. And the air quality is up. It dropped down a little bit. It's at 198, so it's not unhealthy for sensitive group. It's not hazardous anymore.
And that's just one sensor, and who
Yeah.
knows if it's even accurate.
I know.
The air quality is not good.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And people are wondering when the air quality will get better. Well, not tomorrow morning.
No.
We could, if we see some rain, that would really help. That would cleanse the atmosphere. We could see a little bit of rain tomorrow. But, gravity helps cleanse the atmosphere. Eventually, all the particles will fall. But
Yeah.
and the wind will turn to the northwest tomorrow, so that should clear it out.
That should clear it out a little bit too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's tomorrow morning. Air quality not good. Gradually increasing in quality as we go throughout the day.
Speaking of that wind, here's the northwest wind that develops tomorrow morning into the afternoon. See how it's southwest, and then by tomorrow late morning, that's when the wind's going to shift to the northwest, right there at about lunchtime, and then that weather system swings in. So we'll show you the 7-day, and we'll wrap it up that way. So here's a look at the 2-day forecast timeline. 67 degrees for the high tomorrow, and then you'll see we've got upper 30s for Sunday morning. So definitely a lot going on there. And then as we work our way into the weekend from Sunday, shouldn't be too bad of a day. Sunday was going to be a nice day. And St. Patrick's Day warms up dramatically, back up into the upper 70s. Tuesday in the upper 70s, Wednesday in the mid 60s. And gets active again, another system on the way, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. How about that? And then we look at this. This is the River Valley forecast. Warming up So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, upper 60s, lower 70s. Yeah, that tornado warning is going to miss Jonesboro. It's going to be to the northwest of that. So we're just letting you know one last look. Bono really needs to watch it. That storm's headed right for Bono, but it is going to miss the Jonesboro city limits unless there's an additional storm popping up to the southwest, which is entirely possible.
Probably is in
with this
type
type of
environment.
environment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some pretty nasty storms. Even a left mover there, it looks like. That split off that tornado warning storm. Look, you got cells out ahead. Gonna be more storms, more energy. There's just tornado warnings everywhere. In fact, right now there are 17 tornado warnings that are in progress. That's insane. That is just incredible. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the cooler weather and be safe. I won't be streaming live for the tornadoes tomorrow. I'll watch it probably. I'll probably get some looks at radar, crunch some photographs and stuff like that, but not going to be streaming live. And Zach, you probably won't do a Facebook Live either, right? Depending on what goes on.
For us, the weather's pretty quiet.
Yeah, looks pretty good. So, all right, take care, guys. God bless. Have a good one. We'll catch you later.